Have you ever entered a poker tournament and decided that you were going to play without looking at your cards? No? Yeah, of course not. But that's exactly what 15-year-old Annette Obrestad once did. And yet, despite this obviously huge disadvantage, she managed to outplay hundreds of players. It wasn't a stunt and it wasn't luck. Instead, it was the first real glimpse of a prodigy who could read an entire table like her own personal puppet show. She didn't need to see her hand because she could see everyone else's. But to understand how Annette became a prodigy and shocked the poker world with this unique tactic, we have to go back to when there was just a teenage girl in Norway with a second-hand laptop and a dream so ridiculous it clearly shouldn't have worked. At 15, Annette downloaded a poker client under the screen name Annette_15. Her bankroll at the time may have been tiny, but the way she approached the microstakes set her up at a huge advantage in her future career. Within months, she had built a 4-figure bankroll without ever risking a penny of her own. This was all from entering free roll tournaments. By 16, she was multi-tabling 10 tournaments at once, clicking faster than most people could blink. Her screen a blur of virtual chips and avatars folding in sequence. But one day, she decided to test something outrageous.
So I was playing online poker on a Sunday. This is like way back in the day. It's probably, I want to say 6 years ago. And I decided to just like fire up a $4 sit and go and like put some paper on my screen so I couldn't see my cards and just play it.
Annette covered the monitor with a sticky note so she couldn't see a single hand. Could she win a full tournament using nothing but position, bet sizing, and pattern recognition? From the first shuffle to the final showdown, she played blind. Everyone thought she was lying when she said she couldn't see her cards. She wasn't. She just read everyone else perfectly. If you limped in, she punished you. If you hesitated, she shoved. When someone raised light in late position, she'd re-raise without mercy. After many relentless hours, Annette_15 finished first. It was the kind of performance that made people question what skill in poker really meant. Could reading patterns and betting lines actually replace the need to see your own hand? For Annette, the answer was yes. And that answer turned her into one of the most feared online players on the planet. By 17, she had more than $500,000 in online winnings, and by 18, she was playing the highest stakes tournaments Europe had to offer. But then, the unthinkable happened. The World Series of Poker announced its first ever European event to be held in London, open to anyone over 18. While American poker prodigies were sidelined by the age law, Annette was now the perfect age to qualify. Barely legal, completely fearless, and already a legend online. Most players saw the WSOP Europe as an exhibition event, a chance for big names like Phil Hellmuth, Annie Duke, and Gus Hansen to pad their resumes. No one thought some kid from Norway would threaten them, but as the opening day began, a 19-year-old girl took a seat among the world's elite, shuffling her chips with quiet focus. To the veterans around her, she looked like an amateur, maybe even a tourist. What was she even doing here? But to anyone who'd played her online, she was their worst nightmare. And over the course of just a few days, the teenager who once won a tournament blind would go on the run of a lifetime, this time against the biggest and best poker players in history. But just how would her tactics translate to live play? Would she be able to weaponize her ability to spot pattern recognition and outplay the poker elite? The poker world was just about to find out exactly who Annette Obrestad was. We dive into the action of the first World Series of Poker Europe event on day 3. With only 17 players remaining, Obrestad sat on top of the leaderboard. And she didn't wait long to remind everyone why. The opening hand of the day was all it took for her fearless, pressure-heavy style to take over.
Sometimes online skills don't carry over to live, but in her case, she's kept that aggressiveness up as she opens with the 4-5 offsuit. That's pretty aggressive.
Certainly getting rid of some better hands already. Van Zadelhoff won't like his 3-9. Jorgensen folds. Round to Magnus Persson, who has a Queen-Jack.
And Magnus also plays a lot online. I think he understands the type of game she plays, how aggressive, and that's why he's defending here more than any other reason. He's playing the player, not his cards.
Magnus checks his bottom 2 pairs.
And that's a great way to play against Annette. Use her aggression against herself.
True to form, she comes out firing With the straight draw there, he may want to finish this now.
Absolutely. With a straight draw and a flush draw there, he's got to go ahead and raise it right here, right now.
Just a call.
Dangerous play.
At 8, puts another flush draw out there. He checks once more. And once again, Annette shows the tiger in her tank, pushes in a big stack of chips.
And she's definitely always going to take a lead at it, but you know, sometimes when you get a call on the flop, you got to back off.
Well, she'll certainly see some smoke coming through the woods now because he's called her second big bet.
Oh, and what a card, 4 to a straight on the board. Now he's got to be afraid of a million different hands. This is why he should have gone ahead and bet this hand, shown the strength on the flop. Now he's got to make a very tough call.
150,000 with a Broadway straight staring you in the face. Not easy.
And she was the original raiser. She could have a hand like ace-king or ace-queen. There's a lot of hands that beats him right now. This is a really tough call.
Good call.
And he makes it anyway.
Great call.
What a big pot. And
It didn't take long for the pressure of live play to test her. Obrestad's style turned costly, wiping away a significant portion of her stack. For many, that's the start of a meltdown, but Annette stayed calm. No panic, no frustration, just focus. Within minutes, she was already in another major hand, this time against the seasoned Kenny Tran.
for Annette Obrestad.
I think that might bring her aggression back out. Might see her come out.
Yeah, she didn't stay in her shell for long. And now William Durkee has got a pair of crabs. Makes the call.
So that's the great thing about playing lots of hands. You get paid off when you actually have real hands.
And one of our short stack players, it is Kenny Tran. He's picked up the big slick. I think he'd be calling in the movers here. And he says all in.
And that's what you want to be with ace-king. You want to be the raiser, not the caller.
I'm all in.
Annette goes all in over the top. She wanted to isolate Kenny Tran, and that, of course, gets rid of Durkee's small pair. The cards will go over, and we'll see that we are in a race. Kenny can't have hoped for much better than that.
And his tournament life is on the line. And looky right there. So far, so good.
It's the king, way in front now. Obrestad can't even draw to hearts because Kenny has the ace, so she'll need to hit a 7 or running cards for a straight.
And oh, there's the 7 right there. And now Kenny Tran's drawing dead.
Annette permits herself a smile. She's got rid of one of the dangerous players on the table.
And wins a nice pile of chips as well.
Kenny looks as though he sucked a lemon.
The turn brought salvation, a 2-outer that crushed Kenny Tran's hopes and pushed Obrestad back up to second in chips with just 14 players left. But in poker, every heater comes with a cold deck waiting around the corner. Minutes later, she was deep in another huge hand, this time against one of the few players who could bust her.
Brunson hand for Dominic Kay. The Englishman decides not to play it. And once again, Annette looks down and she's got a pocket pair.
Well, 2 3s isn't a hand you want to get too frisky with. You either raise it, try to take it down right here, or limp and hope to flop a set.
She has gone for the raising option, as you'd expect from such an aggressive player. She's going to get a call from Johannes Corsair. The Swede has picked up pocket queens.
Well, she might get a raise. If I wake up with 2 queens right there, I'm going to re-hit it.
And that is exactly what happens.
And because of her aggressive image, now she has to decide whether to defend or not.
I'm all in.
And she did more than defend. Wow! She pushed all in. And she's got Corsair covered. This is a tough call for him.
I call.
And he makes the call.
Annette, not a happy bunny. She was hoping to frighten the Swede off. It hasn't worked out. Corsair can barely look.
And this is the biggest pot of the tournament up till now. What a huge spot, and Obrestad is in trouble.
Now she's in real trouble. Set of queens. She's going to need running threes. No backdoor flush because he has the queen of clubs.
Backdoor straight possibility, but otherwise, gonna get a double up to Corsair. And that shuts the door. She's drawing dead.
Well, they both make a flush in the end, but Corsair's bigger with the queen.
And sometimes aggression doesn't pay.
Short stacked but composed, Annette needed to grind her way back into contention. However, just a few hands later, variance caught up with her again. All in and behind, her entire WSOP Europe journey now depended on a single board runout.
Real hand, win this pot right here. But unfortunately for Annette, person has plenty of chips and he can spare this if he wants to. Still a tough call. Ace-Jack is not a great hand. Most of the time you're going to be dominated or you're going to be in a coin toss. So Ace-Jack, tough spot for person. I might lay this down myself.
Well, these young players have absolutely no fear.
And he calls. He reasoned it out that Obrestad could be out of line here, and she was, and now she's in a dominated situation, and she's going to have to get lucky, or her tournament is over.
Here comes the flop, 5 of diamonds, deuce of diamonds.
Oh, gosh. Right as you make this great call, you really think you made this great call, and now he needs a jack. Wow, he's got to have just a jack and a jack only, or else Annette Obrestad is going to double up.
And she has done. Got to feel a certain amount of sympathy for Magnus Persson. He made a great call, but Annette just outflopped him.
Better lucky than good, huh?
The double up kept her dream alive, pushing her back among the top 5. She'd built her stack by outplaying everyone in sight, constant pressure, endless aggression. Yet the true mark of a champion isn't just knowing when to strike, it's knowing when to stop. And soon, Annette would be forced into a decision that tested every ounce of her discipline.
And as Corsair gets out of the way, and Steve Van Zadelhoff can't like his 8-4, even to Annette's bet. Magnus Persson is in the small blind, and he seeks to defend it.
And this is one small blind I don't think I would like to defend. He's got a weak hand, Jack-8 suited. He's out of position the whole hand, and he's against the most aggressive player at the table, Obrestad.
Yes, he's putting his head in the crocodile's mouth, but look at that, something for everybody. Persson makes the flush draw, and it's top pair for Annette.
And this is big trouble in Little China for Persson. Obrestad's not going to let this hand go easy. She's got top pair and top kicker. All the same, I think he's going to give it the college try and check razor here, try to move her immediately, but he's not going to like what he sees. Well, he just flat calls.
Wants to see a cheap card and hope it's a diamond. It isn't.
Even worse, now he has a pair to go with this flush draw. He checks to her, and this time surely he's going to pull the trigger.
But Annette checks. She doesn't give him the chance.
Wow, what a check there. I don't think I could have checked that and given a free card, but I know she was trying to control the size of the pot, and lucky for her, she didn't bet the turn. She might get out of this fairly unscathed.
Persson now fairly sure he's got the best hand. He's right, and he's now wondering how much money can I extract from this aggressive young Norwegian lady.
And because of such a coordinated board, he's probably not going to get too big a payoff here. He's just got to bet just enough to get her to call. 3 to a flush, 3 to a straight, 3 big cards. She only has 1 pair. The old axiom in poker is don't go broke with one pair, and we'll see if Annette Obrestad sticks to that. Wow, and she folds the hand altogether. That was an unbelievable reach. He must have put him on a flush draw to begin with.
Only 10 remained, one elimination away from the final table. Most players in that spot would play careful, guard their stack, protect their position, but Annette wasn't built for caution. She shifted gears again, turning the table into her playground and taking control of every single pot she entered.
Well, he did that after the flop. I have a feeling he's going to see another flop, and he does. Now this might price Annette, well, it might not have priced her in deuce 7 offsuit.
Wow, this is a staggering move. She's re-raising with the worst hand in Texas Hold'em, 7 deuce.
I wonder if she thinks there's a bonus for that right now. Wow. Well, you know, when you read weakness, you have to play back at it, and Annette Obrestad read weakness. And the irony of the situation is now K is under the squeeze play. Annette Obrestad has put the squeeze play on K. And I think he realizes it might be. But he only has 2 6s, and he's going to be out of position against an aggressive opponent with another big stack.
It's a tough decision for Dominic K. There's no way of knowing for him that he's way in front with the 6s, and he'll get nothing from Annette's impassive face.
She is definitely a stone and not giving anything up at all. And that's what we call power poker. Well done, Annette Obrestad.
Playing any 2 cards, any time, Obrestad's mind games broke her opponents before the flop even hit. The message was clear, she controlled the table. Then came the elimination of Gus Hansen, a poker legend, and just like that, the final table was set. 19 years old, surrounded by veterans and already inside their heads. Her run had been so dominant, one frustrated pro even tried to have her removed from the event, citing her age. But when the final table kicked off, everything changed. The deck turned ice cold, and the young phenom suddenly found herself short-stacked, staring down elimination.
Wish to play this.
He just flat calls.
Oyvind folds from the button. Tabata by has 7-3 and gets rid of it. But look at this. Annette Obrestad says all in with the jacks. Is that too big a bet for Person or Corsa to mess with?
I think that Person might feel like she's putting the squeeze play on Corser here.
I'm on it.
And he does go for it, makes the call. Now Corser doesn't have any choice but to muck these 2 5s, and he does.
Please don't have ace queen.
I don't have ace queen.
Good.
And saying, I don't want you to have a 50-50 shot. She'll see the good news. She's a 4-1 favourite. As long as she can dodge a 7, she is going to double through. And that's a great flop for her.
Did anyone fold a 7?
She's asking to have anyone folded a 7, as if she isn't favourite enough. 92% to win this hand. Make that 100%.
Just to put the knife in the back of Person. Wow.
A full house for Annette Obrestad, and that is a massive pot. Magnus Person thought she was at it, but nothing could be further from the truth.
Players kept dropping, but Annette refused to budge. Before she knew it, the field was down to 3. The problem? She was the smallest stack left to win. She couldn't just wait for cards. She needed to take a stand.
Let's see what Jack Queen does for Annette Obrestad. Not bad cards, 3-handed, and she raises.
As she should from the button with that hand.
Matthew McCulloch calls with a suited King 9. And John Tabata stares down at a genuine monster hand.
And he is on a hot streak. He wakes up with another big pair. He's definitely going to have to re-raise right here, try to build a big pot.
And that is what he has done.
I'm all in.
Oh, and Annette Obrestad moves all in and gets called instantly. She's got to hate her hand. He calls so quickly, she can't be ahead.
Annette has been living aggressively all week long. And the crowd now see that she's in big trouble.
And both these players have been playing so aggressive, that's what brought this call out.
Not a good flop for Annette. She'll need running spades, a queen to win it, or a straight in the middle to chop. And now it has to be a queen. Only 3 outs, or she's out.
And she could be a victim of her own aggression.
She can catch a queen and double up.
John can barely look. Annette may have her eyes closed behind those sunglasses.
Let's see the mirror card.
But she'll want to open them now. She has hit the miracle queen.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Sickener for John Tabatabai. A huge favourite going to that river.
And that's going to take a little while to digest exactly what just happened.
That's the first time we've seen Annette smile all week.
Courage gets you deep in poker, luck gets you the win. When McCullough hit the rail in third, it was down to 2. Security rolled out the $2 million top prize, the weight of it impossible to ignore. Across the table, Annette steadied her breathing. First hand of heads up, Queen Jack, the same hand that had carried her before. What happened next would go down as one of the sickest hands of the tournament.
Hand she raised with earlier.
With a 6-10 suited, John says we'll see 3 in the middle. And look at that, Annette has flopped a Broadway straight, and John's hit a piece of it.
She's now trying to extract anything she can out of John Tabatabai.
And having been so loose, she can get paid off. John giving her a gimlet gaze. And that's a card that's going to get him into a heap of trouble.
He's got to believe he's got the best hand now. This is really a tough spot for Tabatabai.
He would need to make quads or a full house to get away from it if the money goes in. But he's keeping it quite small. Annette is going to count out a raise here.
She's playing very metered, very intentional, as if she might be on a bluff. And now John Tabatabai has to deduce, why did she not raise pre-flop if she had a hand that contained these types of cards in them? A Queen Jack, an Ace 10, a King 10. There's only a few hands that beat his. Why didn't she raise pre-flop? This is a tough, tough decision for him, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away from this hand. He flat calls. He's going to need a 6, a 10, an Ace, or a King to take the lead here.
Another diamond puts a flush out there. That might save him just a little bit of money if he thought Annette was on a draw.
And he tries to put a blocking bet out there to keep Annette from raising. Unfortunately for John, Annette's a really aggressive player. She might sniff right through this.
That flush, of course, may chill her veins a little. Apparently not. Over the top.
And she made a perfect raise, prices him in, makes it look like a value bet, but yet there's so much money in the pot. This is so hard to lay this hand down in this situation. Especially, we've got 2 of the most aggressive players in the entire tournament now playing heads up. Tough, tough decision.
John really deep in the tank now. There are plenty of hands that beat his trip 10s. Could he live with himself if he threw it away?
Everything tells me that I'm beat. But, as you know way too well, I can't fold. How much?
450,000 more.
After that speech, Annette knows he hasn't got the flush.
I'm guessing you got Queen Jack, but not cool.
Cool. All right, John made the call. Queen Jack for an ace-high straight.
And even after calling out Annette's exact hand, he still paid her off. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut instincts.
Annette stacking.
The shift was undeniable. Every chip, every stare, every heartbeat moved in her favor. The bracelet was right there, one hand away. And what happened next became the stuff of legend, one of the most jaw-dropping moments poker has ever seen.
A lot of hands, that's for sure.
On the button with connectors. Tabatabai makes the call. And look at this, Annette's woken up with an overpair. Sevens.
She'll definitely take an aggressive stand with those. She makes a raise.
100,000 more over to the Welshman. Decides to see a flop. $250,000 and some in the middle.
Wow, what a flop.
Two pairs for Tabatabai. Top set for Annette Obrestad.
And I don't think there's any way that John Tabatabai can get away from this hand without at least losing some chips.
Remember, another 5 or 6 would give Annette a bigger full house. He needs running 6s, running 5s, or a straight to chop this.
And right now it has to look like Tabatabai has the best hand. He has to feel like he has the best hand. I don't think he can just call here. I think he's gonna have to raise.
If you enter a pot with 5-6 and you make 2 pairs, you've got to be happy. And the chips do go in.
And John Tabatabai has to believe he has the best hand. Annette Obrestad could easily just have an overpair, overcards, or a flush draw.
I'm all in.
Oh my gosh, and she puts him to a decision for his tournament life.
The crowd stand up. They know that if John calls and loses, we have a winner.
I call.
And he calls. But he's not going to like what he sees.
Only running cards for a straight to chop this, or unlikely quad 6s or quad 5s to win it. It's going to keep John Tabatabai in this tournament.
And it's over right there on the turn.
River is...
At just 19 years old, Annette Obrestad had done the impossible. She'd stared down legends, played without fear, and won the first ever WSOP Europe Main Event, making history as the youngest bracelet winner of all time. In a single tournament, she went from an online mystery to a global headline. No coaches, no backing, no blueprint, just pure instinct and a mind built for pressure. That win cemented her place in poker history. But speaking of impossible runs, there was another player who nearly did the unthinkable. A man who came from nowhere, sat down at the biggest final table in the world, and turned one chip and a chair into a multi-million-dollar dream. Up next, the unbelievable story of George Holmes, and how one ordinary man almost shocked the entire poker world.